France is collapsing under the weight of its own government. In Paris's ghettos, anarchy. Two realities are about to collide. What if the Knights Templar had survived 1307?
Forget it. We can't do it. We simply cannot.
Christ just spent 5 years making this game and you're telling me you can't do it?
Harvey, I want to release this game as much as you do. But I've spoken to Arkane. There's just nothing we can do.
Why?
No publisher will give us a fair enough deal.
Well, why don't they like the game?
Raphael said they weren't comfortable releasing a game that was neither multiplayer or single player.
The Crossing is both. What did he say?
He said he told them everything. He said he told them everything the player could do. He even demoed the game to them.
So, they think it's unmarketable.
Not exactly. The publishers we've talked to will publish the game, but they don't think they will sell well. So the deals they gave us are borderline criminal on how much royalty they're demanding.
Well, this is bad.
It is bad. I will say though, I think the market isn't ready for a game of this type.
Well, maybe it's not. Did you go through anything like this when you were at Valve?
No, I didn't, but I talked to some people who've gone through the same problem. They say the best thing to do is to sweep it and start all over again.
I wish we had done that with Black Site.
Were you really fired for saying that the game about Encycle was shit?
Yeah, that doesn't matter. I feel better with you guys.
You know, I really admire what you did on Deus Ex. I think that's the game that inspired me to do some steampunk art on what I was working on. You know, I will say that I was proud that we had done with the Crossing. Even though the gameplay was bizarre, I did think we had something pretty unique.
You know, I think we can still make something special. We just don't need to go all out with unique gameplay. We could still maybe do something a little smaller.
Well, what should we do?
You know, something creative, something cool, but something different.
Well, we're here right now. Might as well think of some new ideas.
What was the major story of The Crossing?
So, Paris Parallel would use steampunk armor and weapons, while the contemporary Paris would use weapons more similar to our time era.
You said in The Crossing that the Paris Parallel faction used steampunk weaponry. Well, what if we give like a lot of cool weaponry like that to the player in a new game?
What would that mean?
Well, what if in a new game we give him cool, unique gadgets and make him more like an Aeon Flux safe and have him going off into infiltrating buildings and doing missions for, we'll say, Parliament? Like, how about we set it in a world that was similar to Paris Parallel with large buildings and verticality for the player to scale?
The player could scale these buildings and complete his mission. In the Crossing, the player has access to a rope swing. Maybe you could use that to come across his enemies.
Okay, we'll give him the rope swing. What about guns?
Guns were the weapons of the contemporary soldier. They were supposed to strike a balance between the two eras. Should we still apply them in our game?
Okay, so for now, no. The player is able to use guns. We have to keep this a little bit more mainstream.
Okay, so right now the player would control a heavily armed and agile agent and carry out these missions for the Parliament, taking out his targets with these awesome abilities like the rope swing, maybe others. If we were to move this out of the world of The Crossing, where would it be set?
Alright, for now, let's just pretend that Paris Parallel was its own thing. The game takes place in the city, and the player is going around hunting terrorists for parliament or shady politicians, something along those lines.
We'll have to redesign the armor for the player character.
Don't worry, Victor, we'll worry about that later.
But right now, let's give him a mask because he's our secret agent.
Sure, give him a mask. That could be pretty cool.
So you think this all sounds like something we can work with?
Given the previous titles that Arkane Studios has worked on, and the previous games that I've worked on, I think we could turn this into something special.
Okay, I think we got something.
Indeed we do.
If I didn't care more than words can say, if I didn't care, would I feel this way? If this isn't love, then why do I thrill? And what makes my head go round and round while my heart stands still? If I didn't care, would it be the same?